So looks like the box office news about Little Mermaid has become more interesting than anything else in the world. Looks like everywhere you go, people are talking about this movie. How some people are saying this movie is hit, some people are saying this movie is a huge flop. Of course, now this weekend, there is another huge movie is coming out. It's called Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's coming just opposite of the Little Mermaid, just going on its second weekend. And there was another article from Deadline where basically they're just calling at this point this movie even flopped. They're saying this movie will not even break even. It will lose some money. Like they're predicting this movie will lose this $20 million at the box office. When I see both of this article for both of this movie, I'm here thinking like, I don't think there was never this time where people are more interested in the box office news than actual movie itself. Of course, I do think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will do really good at the box office. So there looks like this movie is anticipated to make $150 million at the worldwide market. And 20 million alone is gonna come from China. So this movie doing good in China. So, all this thing people are saying, like the Chinese audience didn't like this Little Mermaid movie. There's so many reasons why they didn't like. Obviously, they didn't like. But I think the Little Mermaid is doing a good business at the domestic, which is obviously not enough because you need to make enough money at the international market too. Where unfortunately, I guess the media now, Deadline is coming out calling this movie just flop after its first weekend at the box office. I think it's a little early to call this movie flop. I think personally, but because this movie doing so bad at the international market, that is why they are thinking that. Also, I do think Disney is telling Deadline because other people are running this movie is losing $100 million. But when you hear it just losing $20 million, it's not that bad. It doesn't sound that bad. Of course, Disney, they took huge risk when they casted Hailey Bailey for this lead role. And of course, sometimes when you take a big risk, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I think this time around, maybe it didn't pay off because there's so many other things happening in the world. Of course, recently, there was another show on Netflix, Queen Cleopatra. There was a lot of controversy with that show. And there was another thing happening. All this controversy around the world. I think finally it caught up to this movie, Little Mermaid. Because I would say personally, all this controversy around, race swapping is finally had caught up to this movie. Although this movie I thought personally, it is okay. It's not bad at all. But it wasn't great either. I think some of the changes this movie has, I didn't like, maybe because I loved the original one so much. I didn't like the changes. I do like, traditional romantic stuff. So when the modern romantic stuff does not work for me personally, I think many people think like me, but you know what? Who am I say to anything? The audience decide movie flop or hit. That means that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is actually tracking quite well, even worldwide market. End of the day, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the animated movie. Like you cannot expect this movie to make $1 billion. I think even if this movie make $500 million, I think it's enough for Sony because this movie only cost to make $100 million is the budget for this movie. So if this movie even make if already is making 150 of the worldwide market, I think Sony will be happy this movie is doing really good. Personally, I really like the first movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So good. That movie is so good. Even the song is so catchy. And I hear this one is even better. So I'm really excited to see this. And let me know in the comment, what do you think about this box office news? Is more interesting than anything else right now. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.